Hey guys, it's Samiksha. I had to say my name because loads of people have been reacting to my content, and although I really appreciate it, people have kind of been butchering my name,
Shamishka's State of the
But anyway, stay with me. This episode isn't just about war, it's about truth. Because peace is the world's favourite lie. In peacetime, we slap on happy stickers and pretend everything's fine. But go to war? War forces us to face the stuff we would rather ignore. And today, I'm unpacking how ancient epics and modern battlegrounds expose the lies that peace lets us ignore, and how that connects directly to what's happening right now with free speech in the UK. So if you care about truth, democracy, or just being able to say what you think without being cancelled or even criminalised at this point, stay till the end. Before we dive in, comment your favourite historical war and what it taught you. And to support us, make sure to hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube to make sure that this episode reaches more people. It helps way more than you may think. After defeating Persia, Athens built the Delian League, a mutual defence club of Greek city-states. Sounds wholesome, right? Except Athens slowly turned it into its own empire. Allies became subjects, tribute payments weren't even optional, and if you tried to leave, Athens sent ships to remind you who was boss. Sparta, who was Athens' main rival, wasn't impressed. They led their own alliance, the Peloponnesian League, and eventually that tension boiled over into a war that lasted nearly 30 years. Early on, Athens' leader Pericles told his people that they were fighting for freedom, democracy, and the glory of their city, but then the plague hit, killing a third of the population, including Pericles himself. Without him, politics turned ugly. Leaders chased personal power, corruption spread. The mask fully slipped in the Melian dialogue. Melos was a tiny neutral island. Athens demanded that they join the empire. The strong do what they can, the weak suffer what they must. That one line is the whole war in a nutshell. Democracy in Athens didn't stop it from acting like a bully. And here's how that applies today. If we want our democracies to survive, we have to protect freedom, not just in theory, but in practice, especially when it's inconvenient. And right now in the UK, that protection is slipping. We've reached a point where comedians are being arrested for jokes, where nearly 30 people a day are charged with speech crimes, where saying something unpopular online can cost you your job, your reputation, or even your freedom. A recent study found that nearly half of Britons feel that they can't speak freely about race, religion, or immigration. And the irony, the UK was once known for its tolerance, its humour, its open debate. You can't challenge power if you're not allowed to speak, and you can't defend a democracy if you're afraid to disagree. Have you ever held back from saying something because you feared the backlash? If you have, make sure to tell us the story with no filters in the comment section below, and to join our Substack community where free speech really does exist. If you're missing my political content, you can find my commentary and my contributors' commentaries on the Substack. The link is down below. We also have a brand new Instagram page. Make sure to check it down below and to give us a follow. Alright, let's jump from ancient Greece to ancient India and watch another civilization crack under pressure. Let's unpack the Mahabharata, ancient India's biggest epic. Two branches of the same family, the Pandavas and the immoral Kauravas, feud over a kingdom. When they finally get to the giant war, Arjuna, one of the Pandavas, looks across at his cousins, his teachers, his friends on the other side, and freezes. Killing them feels wrong. How do you wage war without damning your soul? Enter Krishna, Arjuna's charioteer but also God in human form, dropping what becomes the Bhagavad Gita, or the Song of the Lord. He teaches Arjuna 4 pillars of a righteous war. Only a just ruler can sanction force, fight injustice, not personal gain, match means to ends and avoid needless suffering, and act in service of duty, not for praise or victory. That's a just war theory centuries before Augustine or Aquinas wrote their treatises. Krishna reveals God's wisdom on how and why a war can be moral, insisting that inaction against oppression is in itself a sin. Alright, fast forward 2000 years, humanity's got trains, telegraphs, factories. We think that we've evolved past the barbarism of ancient wars. Spoiler, we haven't. In 1914, Europe stumbles into what they call the war to end all wars. Recruitment posters promise glory, adventure, and a quick win over by Christmas, they said. Instead, millions of young men end up living like moles in trenches. And here's the kicker: letters home are censored, so families never see the actual truth. By the time it's over, 20 million are dead, 21 million are wounded, and the so-called civilized world has shown it's just as capable of mass slaughter as any ancient empire. And at the end of it, world leaders did all they could to punish the losers under the Treaty of Versailles. Little would they know that this punishment is what leads to the Second World War. So the war to end all wars didn't actually end anything. 20 years later, the world is back at it, only this time the stakes are even higher. Fascism is on the march, whole nations are being swallowed. The story we like to tell is very simple. The Allies were the good guys, the Axis were the bad guys, and yes, stopping Hitler mattered, of course it did. But here's the uncomfortable truth: even the good guys crossed moral lines. Allied bombing campaigns flattened entire cities. Dresden, Tokyo, killing civilians by the tens of thousands in a single night. The war ended with the atomic bomb, 2 of them, vaporizing Hiroshima and Nagasaki, instantly killing over 100,000 people and leaving generations with radiation sickness. The forced displacement of people, the Japanese, the German, the Polish, the Korean, the occupation of countries, and the attempted erasure of culture and language by the Soviets in the Balkans and Ukraine. Fighting evil doesn't make you pure. By the end, 60 million people were dead worldwide. World War II proved that even a just war leaves moral scars that peace cannot erase. Alright, here's the thing about the Cold War. It's sold as a peaceful standoff, but instead of open battlefields, you had proxy wars. Millions died in wars that officially weren't ours. This was when propaganda kicked into overdrive. You have communists infiltrating colleges around the world, while the USA leveraged its immense economy to try and spread its own propaganda. The war was one of paradoxes. The Soviets spoke of freedom from colonial imperialism while they colonized the Baltic states in Central Asia. America spoke of free and fair elections while cooing governments they didn't like. Peace can just be war with better branding. The Cold War proved you don't need open combat to destroy lives. You just need enough secrecy to hide the blood. Which is more dangerous, a war you can see or a war in your very mind and souls? What do you think? So this is the big picture. And what do we do with this info? We defend free speech, even when it's uncomfortable. And we stop waiting for conflict to force honesty. We choose it now, because if war can expose the truth, then peace should be strong enough to hold it. If you've made it this far, comment peace in the comment section below if you think we shouldn't need a battlefield to tell the truth. Share this with at least 3 other people if you agree with me, and hit subscribe because next time we're going even deeper and talking about the body positivity movement. If you have any thoughts about the hypocrisy of the movement, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks and see you soon.